Hi, my name's Marjorie and I'm the director of the Little Compton Historical Society and the Wilbur House Museum. And today we're in a part of the Wilbur House that is called the Open Chamber. Many historic New England houses have open chambers. They're basically large hallways over the kitchen, directly over the kitchen. The rooms filled many purposes over the years, but they're usually unfinished, simple rooms. They provide access from the basement to the attic so that people living in the house could move from one part of the house to the other without entering anyone's private chambers. Many times these rooms were used as places to house servants. And in 2016, we decided to interpret this room as the bedchamber of Val Solomon. Val Solomon was an Indigenous girl who we know was a servant in this household. Val lived in the 1750s, and we know that in 1757, an epidemic swept through the Native American community in Little Compton and unfortunately killed a number of people. We believe that Val's parents were killed in the epidemic and Val was seriously ill. At that time, Dr. William Wilbur was the head of the household here, and he took Val into the household and took care of her. And we're sure the women of the house also helped take care of Val. She might have been 7 or 8 years old at that time. After Val recovered, Dr. William approached the town council of Little Compton and asked to be reimbursed for all the expenses involved in taking care of Val. And that was a pretty common thing for people who offered charity to then go to the town council and ask to be reimbursed. So the town council gave Dr. William Wilbur £60 for the expenses he had undertaken in bringing Val back to health, but then they decided they were not going to pay for her any longer. So the town council, or the town selectmen, indentured Val Solomon to the Wilbur family. And that meant that there was a contract that said that Val had to live here and work here until she was 18 years old. And in return for her work, the Wilburs would make sure she had a decent place to live, adequate food, drink, and clothing. When Val's contract ended when she turned 18, she would have been given a new suit of clothing from head to toe and a new Bible. Many Native children were indentured. Many white poor children were indentured. If a town felt that a family could not take care of their children, they would bind those children to a new family or indenture those children to a new family, and the children had to work for their keep. Girls' indentures ended at 18, boys' indentures typically ended at 21. Many cases there was also an element of education. The girls were typically taught to read, and the boys were typically taught to read, to write, and to do arithmetic, and to the rule of 3, which is about 8th grade algebra. People just didn't think that girls needed to learn to write or to do math at that period of time. We don't know for sure that this is where Val stayed when she lived with the Wilburs, so we're making an educated guess. It is not a bad place to stay. It would be much warmer than staying in the attic, but it does not provide any privacy. Again, this is a hallway, and people would be walking through it all throughout the day.